podcast When Does Brahms Come In? I'm Sofia, and today we're going to have a talk about Russian composer and pianist Alexander Nikolaevich Skryabin. He was born in 1872, New Style, and inherited artistic talent from his mother, who died when the boy was 1 year old. Signs of musicality appeared in him very early. He accurately reproduced the music he had once heard, and as a child he was very passionate about the works of Frédéric Chopin, and even kept a collection of the great composer's notes under his pillow. In January 1888, Skryabin entered the Moscow Conservatory. He was accepted without exams into composition and piano classes. Rumors about his talent penetrated wide circles of musicians. His teachers were Tchaikovsky's student Sergei Taneyev, the rector of the conservatory Vasily Safonov, and Anton Arensky. If he had good relationships with Taneyev and Safonov, it never worked out with Arensky. He kicked him out of class, so Skryabin graduated only as a pianist and received a small gold medal. Alexander Skryabin's name was engraved on a plaque with the names of distinguished graduates, and now it is near the small hall of Moscow Conservatory. Arensky never liked Skryabin's work because of completely new harmonies there were in his music, and the professor didn't like them. After graduating from the conservatory, the composer and pianist met Mitrofan Belayev, who was a philanthropist. Skryabin's works began to be published in his publishing house, and he organized lots of concert activities for him. At the age of 26, Alexander was appointed as a professor at the Moscow Conservatory, but the professorship seemed to him a place of imprisonment. At first, Alexander Skryabin created works only for piano, but at the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries, his first symphonic works appeared. At the same time, an intensive process of formation of Skryabin's educational, artistic, and philosophical views began. In 1900, he became a member of the Moscow Philosophical Society. Alexander was actively involved in composing, and during the summer of 1903, he wrote 35 piano works. That is a lot. In addition, a new genre appeared, poems. At the beginning of 20th century, Skryabin went abroad. He spent 5 years in Switzerland, Italy, America, and more. In Europe, he began working on the poem Prometheus, or the Poem of Fire. Its premiere took place in Moscow in 1911, and it is special that the cast includes luce, translated from Italian as light. A special light keyboard plays a key role in the poem. Skryabin introduced the concept of light music in it, the performance of music accompanied by colored lighting. For Skryabin, each note had its own color. For example, the CK was red and the D was yellow. The composer argued that Prometheus is in no way connected with the ancient Greek myth, but the image of the Titan who brought fire to people did not appear by chance. This poem reflects the victory of the mighty human will and the triumph of life. In the original plan, light was a mandatory attribute, but due to the complexity of implementing this idea, at the last moment Skryabin wrote that it can be performed without a light line. For the first time using light, the Fire poem was performed in New York, but Skryabin was absent from the performance, which led to an arbitrary interpretation of the lightning effects. The poem Prometheus was a huge success in the whole world. Skryabin constantly composed, combining it with concerts. He had a huge number of performances even despite the problems with his right hand. Alexander overplayed it while studying at the conservatory, and since then he often had problems with it. For this reason, left-handed pieces were composed, and they are brilliant. His last concert took place in Petrograd, or now St. Petersburg. Upon arrival in Moscow, he felt himself unwell. he developed a carbuncle on his lip. Alexander Skryabin was a man who could not go out looking bad. He always had to look perfect. He squeezed it out, which caused blood poisoning. In April 1950, the composer and pianist died. All musical organizations honored Skryabin. A series of concerts were organized dedicated to the composer's piano works, and they were performed by Sergei Rachmaninoff as well. Actually, this concert was the first time when Rachmaninoff played not his own pieces. Nowadays, Alexander Skryabin is played and honored all over the world, even if during his lifetime the ideas were not always understood and accepted by society. He is called a symbolist and a genius to this day. Brahms will come to see us again, but for now, see you soon. It was a podcast When Does Brahms Come In? And sincerely yours, Sofia.